This coach played to lose, or to avoid losing at best, not to win the game. You can laugh, you can do the Herm Edwards quote, you can do whatever you want, but this was on full display for the last 2 weeks. You had the lessons going into it. You didn't have to wait. You didn't have to go long history. How about last week? Hugh Jackson had a chance to win the game for the Cleveland Browns. What'd he do? The same thing Jason Garrett did, and the Browns lost. And then yesterday, Sean McVay had a chance to win the game. And what did he do? He went for it on 4th and 1. And what did the Rams do? They won. Winners win. Losers try to avoid losing. This is what the Cowboys have running it right now, losers. And the truth of the matter is, they're losers at their own game. Molly, you put up the stat, and I think that's the beginning and end of the argument. In the Dak, Zeke era, they have gone for it on 4th and 1 19 times. They made it 18 times. That's 94%. What in God's good name terrified you at the opponent's 42? What are you doing punting at the opponent's 42 in overtime with a chance to win the game? What more? This is what you've invested in for going on a decade. You chose Tyron Smith, as our friend Rex Ryan just pointed out to me in the green room. You chose Tyron Smith over J.J. Watt. I like it, that's fine, but that's how you chose to invest. You chose Zach Smith over Johnny Manziel. Thank God, but that's how you chose to invest. You chose Ezekiel Elliott over Jalen Ramsey. I still don't hate it, but you've invested for close to a decade in being able to run on 4th and 1, and you punted because you're a loser. And let me ask you this. It's over. It's time. Unless you want another decade of losing, move on. The Jason Garrett era has to be over.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you joining the party. Thank you so much. It took you a long time, but you got here. So thank you.
I'm an optimist.
Thank goodness for that. We've been trying to tell you for a while that Jason Garrett didn't need to be the coach. He needed to go. Scott Linehan, take him with you. We get all of that. But I will say this to you. This isn't the particular night to make that point. I can give you a bunch of other nights you could have made that point. Last night wasn't one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, we can sit up here and act like Jason Garrett made the wrong call all he wants to. Let's keep this a couple of things in mind. Number one, Dallas was trying to run the football all night long. They gave Ezekiel Elliott 20 carries. He had 54 yards. The play before that, they struggled. They had 2 yards to gain. They couldn't do that. More importantly, Houston's front seven had been a nightmare for them all night long. And as a result, you had Dak Prescott running for his life most of the night. And because your receivers couldn't get open, and he was busy scrambling for his life trying to find somebody to throw the damn football to. So you knew that they couldn't throw the ball. And obviously, your choice was going to be to run the football. Ezekiel Elliott is a stud. We all know that. But the flip side to it, led by Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt, Houston's front seven has been ferocious. Now we got to take into account Dallas's defense, which you yourself has acknowledged is pretty damn good. Well, on 5 of the 7 drives in the second half, they were shutting them down. They was holding Houston down. So my point is, if you're Jason Garrett in the Dallas Cowboys defense, you're thinking along the lines, okay, we punt this ball, we get them deep into their territory, which you did.
You're defending this today?
Yes, I am.
Are you serious?
Listen, I'm not finished. Did I interrupt you?
No, I just couldn't help it. It's crazy going on.
Well, just sit back and chill. Here's the
no
reality
chill.
of the situation. You punted the football. You got them deep in their own territory at the 10-yard line. Who thought that DeAndre Hopkins was going to connect on a 49-yard pass, breaking 4 tackles along the way? Again, I'm only talking about last night. There's nothing that you said that's wrong about the Cowboys, but last night, considering the situation that was going on with the Houston Texans, I couldn't blame them.
Oh, man.
First, I'm going to address you, and then I'm going to get to you.
Sure.
Stephen A., you're wrong about last night.
Okay.
And Will, you're, of course, right in this case. You and I, Will, have debated the efficacy of centering your attack on the run. But if you have a generational running back or you draft the guy in the top 5, certainly on 4th and 1 in overtime.
From the opponent's 42.
From the opponents, you go for to pick up a yard. And Will's exactly right. Their coaches, I've made this point again and again, are such cowards in the NFL by and large that they allow the possibility of the negative outcome, even if it's 1 out of 19 times. That's enough to stop them from going for the 18 out of 19 times. Take Peterson. You didn't mention Doug Peterson yesterday, Will. He went for it and blew it. But he also went for it in the Super Bowl and won it. Fortune favors the bold. Do not be afraid of the negative outcome. Will, you hit the nail on the head. Don't play to avoid losing. Play to win. Eli Manning, for all his faults, the reason he has 2 Super Bowl wins is the same reason he throws interceptions. He's not afraid to lose. And you're looking for that in your coach, in your quarterback, in your team. So about last night, you're wrong. However, Will, You talk about the fact that you know more. But in fact, I hate to tell you, you and many other Cowboys fans have enabled Jerry Jones lo these many years. You're an enabler because you guys show up and support and make excuses. I understand why, because you feel helpless otherwise. But in fact, Cowboys fans, the strength in their numbers, the fact that this was the primetime game enables Jerry Jones. What does it enable him to do? And this is really my point. Jerry Jones needs to recuse himself. He needs to remove himself. He can still own the Cowboys. But, guys, it's not just Jimmy Johnson. It was Bill Parcells. We debated this last week. If you have a big personality, a coach that wins, then the attention goes from Jerry Jones's radio segments and all the waves he makes.
It's like in his 70s, though.
To the coach and the winning.
Now, that's not realistic.
Okay, here's the prescription for the Cowboys. Jerry Jones, just remove yourself. Just take a step back. The Cowboys will be fine. They got a good defense. When the line gets healthy, they're going to be good.
For both of you, first of all, I'm really shocked at you. I truly am. I'm not doing this for TV. You are a person who professes to abhor mediocrity. You have used that as a reason for years that Marvin Lewis should no longer be the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. You know this, and you've made the argument. This is the embodiment of mediocrity. And you look at last night and that risk-averse, gutless decision, and you defend it. That's not even on brand for you, a genuine brand. I can't believe you're making that argument today. And by the way, I'm decent at math. Not great, but decent. If Ezekiel Elliott's run 20 times for 54 yards, that's an average of 2.5 yards a carry. You needed one.